Hi, I'm Matt with Bridge Crew. Let's take a quick look at using your tagging for cost allocation from code to cloud. So if we jump right into it, down here I have three S3 buckets written in Terraform. Now we've taken these from our TerraGo training repo, which is a purposely vulnerable set of Terraform resources. But because tagging is really about being able to refer back to code from cloud objects and vice versa, to really get the most out of understanding your tagging, you need to be deploying some objects to your cloud provider. A lot of TerraGoat isn't particularly secure enough to be deployed. So what we've done is we've taken a subset called deployable goat, which is just a number of buckets which are safe enough to deploy into a test environment. So what we see here, as I said, is three S3 buckets. And as you'll see, they have a couple of tags like name and environment from the existing Terraform, but they don't have that much information that will help us identify and manage them once they're deployed into a AWS account, let's say with, tens or hundreds or thousands of other objects. So what we can do here is we can quickly run your on this repo. And it's very simple by default. You just do your tag and give it a directory. And what you'll see here is it will suddenly go and look through all the default taggers that your supports, for example, pulling information out of your Git history and commit history if you're in a Git repo, and it will produce all these tags. And your understands the type of infrastructure as code that this is written in, so in this case Terraform, and is able to put these in to your Terraform as existing tags, so that when you do a Terraform deploy, you are going to have these tags persisted over to your AWS environment, for example. Now, by default, as you can imagine, this gives us an incredible amount of power. We can see at a glance, which file in Git this particular cloud object came from. We can see who it was last modified by. We can see which Git repo, which org that Git repo's in, and also your trace, which is a really handy UUID for basically then searching anywhere across your entire organization source control to find that exact object that maybe you're looking at and trying to debug in your cloud environment. But what's more, we can extend yours default really, really simply with a tag group config file. So what you'll see here is I'm saying I want two new tags. I want a tag called cost center org, and I want a tag called cost center team. And to decide what the contents of these tags are going to be, we can ask your to use existing tags. So here we're saying if the Git modifiers are myself or Steve, then set the cost center team to Bridge Crew DevRel, otherwise just set it to Bridge Crew. And equally, if the Git repo that this code is contained within is within the Bridge Crew IO organization, then set Bridge Crew as the cost center org, otherwise set external. So now if we use that configuration file to run your again, your won't bother changing the existing tags that it's already created, but it will go and add those new tags to it. So let's use that tag group configuration file. And as you'll see here, we now get the extra tags for each of our three resources. So we get cost center team, Bridge Crew DevRel, 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 and external, because this repo is in my org, not in Bridge Crew's org. Now we have a second version of this called deployable goat 2, which is just a copy of the same repo. The difference with this one is it's on Bridge Crew's org, not ours. So if we now run the same, my apologies, if we change it into AWS, and we now run the same tags, what we'll see here is and we run it with the same tag configuration file, what we'll see here is on this completely new repo, we get all of the standard built-in your tags, but we'll also see that down here, the cost center org is Bridge Crew because the organization that this repo is in is Bridge Crew, not my personal metahertz. And this translates directly to when we deploy into AWS, for example, we have all those tags available, for example, in this demo S3 bucket that I deployed just a moment ago. We can see that we have all of these tags, which are super useful not only for debugging, for just having access to them immediately when someone's looking through an AWS environment, but obviously this is all about cost management for us with things like the cost center team and the cost center org, and they can be useful when looking at things like AWS's cost manager. So instead of just seeing all of your buckets, for example, for S3, you can now start filtering on tags based on which organization and which department and how much are you spending on kind of external things versus internal tools or internal code bases. Hope that was helpful. For all of the commands and examples, by all means check out the blog on bridgecrew.io/blogs, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.